Julia Davis and Jean DeFazio's tribute to Harriet Tubman is an invitation for us to think creatively about the influence of Tubman's life. Tubman is a courageous heroine, a devout Christian who is guided by the Lord through the woods and farmlands to bring freedom for herself and others. Harriet's sense of mission superseded her own comfort. Nevertheless, despite the danger, she lived into her 90s and did not lose one person that she conducted north. Estimates differ as to how many slaves she escorted to freedom: 75, 200, 750. Harriet Tubman is portrayed as someone who's not double-minded. What God wants her to do, she does. She acts and does not question God's leading, no matter how difficult it would appear. We may think the 1800s have left us behind, but 200 years later, some white Americans still treat some black Americans as second-class citizens. Thus, the tribute is a timely book. Each of us has moments to further opportunities for marginal people today, and we should not be scared to act. One escaping slave reported, "I's hoping and praying all the time I meets up with that Harriet Tubman woman." Let us hope and pray that we can be a Harriet Tubman to someone.
My wife, who has just spoken, has paid a handsome tribute to that remarkable woman, Harriet Tubman. So we thought that, rather than repeat, I should extend the focus, paying my tribute to the remarkable women who put this tribute and similar projects together. Educator Julia Davis is a warrior of prayer and an educator who has taught students from pre-K to 12th grade, going on to teach literacy, ELL, and GED classes. As Harriet Tubman led the enslaved out of captivity, Julia breaks the chains of ignorance to empower her students. Jean DeFazio's mission is similar. She's another remarkable woman, renowned for her bestsellers like Berkeley Street Theater and Christian World Liberation Front. But she was also gifted by God with a specialty, working with at-risk students. 2023 will be the 15th consecutive year that Jean has worked with me and Dr. Wilma Mathis as a team teaching at Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary's Boston campus for urban education. Jean's teaching experience is vast, beginning doing ESL as a teenager in migrant worker camps, then in the urban barrios. Jean became a consummate educator like Harriet Tubman. Jean is a paragon of perseverance and a soul lifter of struggling students. With Jean's expert guidance, they all cross the finish line with excellent grades. Of other outstanding women in this book, Dr. Wilma Mathis, whom I just mentioned, who did the afterword, is a 10-year member of our teaching team, a computer expert with a heart of compassion, working full-time at a community health center while helping seminarians succeed and ministering to unwed mothers. Her interests are vast, and her ministry very effective. She did an excellent book on how spiritual journaling can empower marginalized women, published as Jesus Among the Homeless, Successful Strategies of Christian Ministers to the Marginalized. And it's an eye-opener. Both Julia and Jean contributed to Wilma's book, just as Wilma has contributed so many of their books, and to ours as well. And finally, one more woman who is involved in their mutual work is the amazing Olga Soler, actress, artist, musician, dancer, writer. Olga's talent and expertise are ungageable. She, as each of these women, thinks and writes at a very high level. As a result, they've produced well over a dozen books. In short, this tribute to Harriet Tubman reflects a multinational community of educated, godly, and productive women. And their number includes the superlative Gemma Wenger, herself a professional contributing author, preacher, producer, and educator in the classroom and on screen. So we can see it was inevitable these women should pay tribute to the accomplishments of Harriet Tubman, whose leadership shows that powerful, prayerful, godly women can turn the world upside down as God reconciles the world, as we see in 2 Corinthians 5:17-20.